For some kids, summer means no school, a chance to take it easy and have fun. For others, summer offers a chance to exercise their minds and have a good time with new friends while they're at it. Northwestern Center for Talent Development opens its doors year-round to students who are ready to get on the learning fast track. But summer is its own world.
The other way.
With paint, cardboard boxes, and an eye for detail, Sabrina Estudillo is learning to design and build a city.
We're trying to end up with a functional city that someone would be able to live in. And there's roads and recreational areas and a library, like everything that the city should have.
Can we go off stage and let's start with the introduction, please?
Across campus, Donna Stone is directing elementary and middle schoolers in a production of Shakespeare's The Tempest.
They're learning the essentials of Shakespeare. What's iambic pentameter? You know, why has he lived through all of these years? Why has he survived? Why is he considered the greatest?
And not far from Shakespeare's stage, young minds are racing, learning the fundamentals of aerodynamics, much to the delight of their parents.
As a parent, the Center for Talent Development was a good find for us. The teachers in the program seem to come up with outstanding strategies for nudging a student on, helping them understand how to negotiate their way through challenges in a program.
This is the Center for Talent Development, part of Northwestern School of Education and Social Policy. It is, first and foremost, a research and learning center for gifted students and their families.
The first summer program we ran was in the summer of 1983. I was newly hired, and it was my job to run this program.
PAULA OLSZEWSKI-KUBILIUS is director of the Center for Talent Development. For 25 years, the CTD has been running summer programs for gifted children and teenagers, ranging in age from pre-kindergarten to the end of high school. Now the program serves 3,300 students annually, and they come to the Evanston campus from around the globe.
Bright kids need special attention, just like other kids, because they are at risk.
PAULA OLSZEWSKI-KUBILIUS believes that many gifted kids are not adequately challenged, that in regular school they learn to get by.
It's not a good thing for anyone to learn that or to believe that in order to be smart you have to do well without having to work hard. Because at some point in the future, everybody realizes or hits a point where they have to work hard to do well. And the people who achieve in this world and the people who excel are people who mainly work harder than a lot of the rest of us.
It doesn't matter what order we do that, right?
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Back away from the
What we try to do is make learning really fun, especially for our younger kids. If you look at our programs, for the youngest kids, everything we do is meant to be very problem-focused. So we want to give them messy problems to try and work their way through, because that's the reality of what they're going to encounter later on.
5, 4, 3.
What students encounter in teacher Jim Deppis' class is a perfect example. Deppis lays out this challenge for his students. Take a block of wood, carve it, add some wheels, and transform it into an aerodynamic race car.
And so then they first design it on paper, and then they trace it out on this. And then we cut it out of using the saw and the drill press. We cut it out to their specifications, and we come up with designs like this. And so the kids spend a long time and a lot of energy trying to make sure they meet the specifications while also trying to make something that's competitive. And they're applying the physics ideas that they've learned in the morning in our physics class, like decreasing the mass and making it aerodynamic.
Who won? Lane won.
The designs make all the difference, because every child and every car gets the same engine power, a CO2 cartridge.
When we put it on a launcher, there's a device that breaks the CO2 cartridge, and the force from that pushes the car down the track, and our fastest car went over around 36 miles an hour.
What draws these kids in is not just that they're having fun with math and science. It's also that some of their ideas go off track, and at the same time, the program gives students, as well as teachers, room to make mistakes.
In school, you learn a lot of everything, but I feel like you're not always being challenged enough. Here, they really challenge you. And yes, you might not get perfects on all the assignments like we're used to, but it's a good thing. It means that we learn.
I do have some kids that they come and they say, this is the first time I've ever been challenged in an academic setting, and that every class they've taken, they've gotten 100% easy. And now they finally, they've actually had to think about how they study. And we've actually helped them with their study skills, because now we've pushed them to their limit.
Wait, I want to go 3, 2, 1, go. Yes! Oh! Wow. I'm so sorry.
At the Center for Talent Development, it's a short walk from the study of design to the study of drama.
About this instance. A curse on you! Both of you!
This course is called Bard for Beginners, an introduction to Shakespeare. For teacher Donna Stone, the trick is to find a way to make the great playwright exciting and relevant to kids.
Part of what I hope to accomplish with the Bard for Beginners is to give the kids a love of Shakespeare. I chose The Tempest for our 3-week study because I felt that if we were going to do different plays, they really wouldn't get much insight into any play. And so I felt that The Tempest was enough of a fairy tale that they could relate to, and it had a lot of action and fantasy.
My dear daughter, who knows not what thou art, nor that I am just Prospero, the master of a poor island.
More to know didn't enter my thoughts.
'Tis time I should tell thee.
Freeze, and let's take it to Caliban's entrance.
Okay.
I tell them it's not about lines. It's about being in a place and making yourself believe that you are who you say you are, and making the audience believe what's going on stage is real.
When we come back, we'll look at how the Center for Talent Development gives kids a box to think out of the box and what it means to them.
If this is let's just say if this is way too big, then you're going to start pushing it into the road.
Jeff Finelli is a teacher at Northwestern Center for Talent Development, a summer program for gifted children and teenagers.
What we're working on is the planning. So when they kind of see the idea of what it should look like at the end, I think you had just a bunch of windows on his plans. And it was like, this is going to take forever, let's kind of scrap it, start over.
Finelli's subject, architecture. His goal, to help his students build ideas and then a city.
The class is based on 3 main projects. And the first one is where we build the bridges. A second one is where we build scale homes. And the final project, which is the one that pulls all the ideas in, is where we make the mini city.
Finelli, by the way, wasn't always a teacher. He started as a stock trader, but ultimately he decided he wanted to change. Now, during the school year, Finelli teaches math. In the summer, he loves the challenge of getting smart students to stretch.
A lot of times these kids come from schools where they know it all. Something's shown on the board, they can do it, they're going to do it 50 times, they want to move on to the next thing. They're not challenged in the way where they are at this camp.
Architecture, I don't know, I love art and I love math, and it's like a combination of my 2 favorite things. And my mom kind of wanted me to do something for the summer. She didn't want me to sit around being bored. So she looked into some things and I saw this class and I was like, wow, that sounds really interesting.
Like her, Sabrina's classmates are into it. With paper, cardboard, and relatively simple materials, they explain the complex challenge ahead, a mix of math, science, and imagination.
We have to make 12 different buildings from skyscrapers and restaurants and things. We draw in the sign for the building, and then we draw windows and doors, and then we take cardboard and we paint it, and we add construction paper to make the plans come to life.
It may seem unusual, but in this setting there is no shortage of either brain power or enthusiasm.
It's a little selfish. I do enjoy myself. It's 6 weeks that I really love to come, and I get to teach all day on topics that kids are engaged in. It's a great experience for me, and hopefully it's a great experience for the kids. They seem to really enjoy it.
It's worth noting that the students who come to the CTD don't show up magically. It is a 2-way relationship. The center itself is constantly looking for talents.
As far as bright kids, our goal is to find them. What's harder to find are kids who, for a variety of reasons, may not have had the best start in life, but are bright and won't perform well in school necessarily or on standardized tests. Those kids are harder to find, but we're committed to finding them.
And some families and kids are looking for the missing piece. DARAJA Foster has gone to the summer program for the last 3 years.
At my school, even though we do math,
the level at which they do math is not very challenging for me. So I found that when I came here in the summer and took a math course, I found that it was very challenging, and I enjoyed it very much.
Like many aspects of education, it's not just what you know, but how you go about learning it. In the end, the Center for Talent Development is teaching young people how to stay dedicated to the quest for knowledge.